A wonderful evening and a cheerful welcome to one and all present here in this virtual faculty development program, Research Methodologies New Perspectives. We are in the sixth day of seventh day of DP. I take great pleasure in welcoming two geniuses with us today. Ms. Reina Lampu Ma'am, a STEM instructor and researcher, Greek Minister of Education, and she is going to address in first session. And Dr. Ali Sayed Al-Matari sir, mathematics instructor at Sarkia, University of PhD in Arts. So I welcome you, ma'am and sir, on behalf of ADP College of Arts and Science, Tripur, India, and on behalf of Cape Comorin Trust, Tamil Nadu, India, and on behalf of my dear faculty members and participants from various parts of the world. Once again, I welcome sir and ma'am for this wonderful faculty development program. Ma'am, now the session is yours. We'll have ma'am's session with a small intro about her achievements. A short profile of ma'am's I'm going to read out. Reina Lampu ma'am is a multi-awarded and multi-talented global educator, STEM instructor, ICT teacher trainer, neuroeducation researcher, international speaker, author, and global peace ambassador in Greece. Currently, she is a STEM instructor at the Greek Astronomy and Space Company, Anexo Salamias, and she is also working at the Greek Ministry of Education at the Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation, where she writes STEM projects for Greek schools. She has been awarded many national and international prizes, over 200, and she is a global teacher. She has received the Global Teacher Award 2019, 2020, and 2021 AKS Awards, and also she is the winner and a Global Teacher Prize finalist 2019 by Waki Foundation. Recently, she has been selected as a Global Icon 2020. Really, it's an amazing thing, ma'am. Among the top 10 women entrepreneurs, she has been featured in Fortune among the 100 most successful women in business, featured in Amazon book by Global Trade Chamber, and among the top 10 CEOs of the year 21-22 by DigiSharks and Indian Alert. She is also an editorial board member of many journals. She has presented her research in numerous international conferences, and she has published work in various journals. Ma'am, really, we are very much proud of you and about your achievements, and we are also very much honored to have you in this forum, ma'am. Now the session is yours, ma'am.
Warm greetings from Greece. Thank you very much for the beautiful introduction, and of course, many congratulations to all the organizers for this very important faculty development program on research, and thank you very much for your kind invitation. As you said, I'm a STEM instructor. I'm working at the Greek Ministry of Education, where I'm writing STEM projects, and I'm trying to promote STEM worldwide. Through my international projects also. Today I will focus on STEM research into early childhood education, in Greece particularly. Why? Because STEM, we know that it's a good trend in education. It has started to be integrated in the curriculum in many countries, but STEM into early research is something, it's a field which is still unexplored. So through my presentation, I would like to motivate actually our audience in order to get involved more on this, because early childhood education in general is a domain which is underexplored. So now I will share my presentation. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see also the change of slides?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, my presentation will include the three parts. If we have time, I will present the third part. The first part will be about preschool teacher STEM pedagogical content knowledge. It's actually a study, a comparative study of teachers in Greece and Turkey. You know that the educational expertise of preschool teachers is evident in their adept and efficient application of teaching methodologies while engaging children in STEM activities. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and the foundational understanding of STEM activities, which is crucial for children's scientific development, rests upon teachers' content knowledge, and of course, it's the pivotal factor in STEM's education content, the pedagogical dimension, is the training of teachers. So the integration of STEM content and pedagogical knowledge into pre-service teacher training programs stands as vital component of STEM education. The sufficiency of content and pedagogical knowledge related to STEM within the teacher education programs, however, is under discussion. We're going to see about all these challenges and obstacles. That's why in-service training initiatives are introduced in order to enhance teachers' STEM content pedagogical knowledge. So numerous countries have already formulated policies saying that fostering STEM education and training and advancing teachers' professional growth in STEM. You know what, USA, for instance, or Australia were among the first countries which introduced STEM in the curriculum. So as for now, there is no universally accepted standard or content for STEM education teacher training policies. Therefore, it's recommended that each country focuses on their unique challenges and obstacles in the STEM education process. The pedagogical implementation of STEM activities has proven to be challenging due to teachers' limited understanding of and familiarity with STEM components, notably engineering, for instance, or technology and design. And according to research, STEM performance of teachers lacks, all those teachers who lack knowledge, skills, and pedagogical exposure in STEM is often found to be severely lacking. So it's crucial to evaluate the effectiveness of in-service training in bolstering teachers' STEM knowledge and skills. And research shows that teachers often think that their STEM education-related knowledge, skills, and pedagogical experiences should be greatly improved on because they are lacking. What happens with Greece? Greece and Turkey scored below average the PISA test. So countries that scored average usually include Singapore, Hong Kong, Finland, Britain, Austria. Why? It was noted that countries that scored well start education, science education significantly earlier than countries that didn't fare as well. And despite STEM education being implemented in Greece and Turkey, it is obvious that we need new teacher training policies backed by STEM instruction. And the main focus of all these changes should be the STEM pedagogical content knowledge of preschool educators, because they are the ones that essentially shape the attitude, interest of young learners towards STEM education. Consequently, a comparative assessment of Greek and Turkish preschool teachers, I think, would substantially enrich the literature and influence both nations' STEM education-related teacher training policies. The preschool period, that initiates STEM literacy and sets foundation that can extend throughout lives. So early childhood is a critical phase for children's brain and neural development. So the general consensus is that the introduction of STEM education in early childhood can yield positive outcomes in subsequent years. Because during early childhood, teachers inspire children and encourage them to relate STEM educational activities to authentic real-life problems and to create solutions for them. So this approach actually nurtures children's curiosity, hones the research skills, and supports their inquiry capabilities. By seeking solutions to challenges, children cultivate the curiosity, enhance their ability to apply experiences to new situations. They absorb information through research. So engaging in diverse projects with STEM application during early childhood activities, this cultivates cognitive, emotional, and behavioral skills. These STEM-backed skills, of course, includes the whole variety of competencies of 21st century skills. Of course, problem solving. We talk about STEM always problem solving, cooperation, creativity, communication, and critical thinking. A child-centric approach in play-based settings is essential also for the development of STEM skills in children, because early childhood STEM education provides children with the opportunity to artistically cultivate the skills to express themselves, to become technologically literate, and develop a basic understanding of engineering, for instance, through games rooted in science, mathematics, and technology. So STEM education reflects science, and the essence of scientific requirement, of course, nurtures children's enthusiasm, passion, and attitudes across all scientific domains. So the cultivation of positive attitudes and interest in science during their childhood has been proved to have a positive impact on children's academic achievements later in life. And for this reason, the introduction of STEM education is essential already from early childhood. The integration of STEM education into the curriculum of kindergarten, second, and fifth grade students can be used to assess its effects on cognitive and affective growth. So teachers play a crucial role in integrating STEM into curriculum. Even if STEM is not officially integrated in the curriculum, the role of teachers in trying to redesign the curriculum is very important. And for this way, they should be equipped with teaching methodologies and materials which will not only enhance their STEM competence, but will also allow them to practice integrated STEM education. So it's up to governments and countries to support teachers through educational policies that will facilitate this successful integration of STEM education. We said about the PISA the scores, and research findings in both countries, Greece and Turkey, show that teachers accept STEM education significance in early childhood. But however, they perceive themselves as insufficiently equipped when it comes to STEM subjects and applications. So the PISA result mentioned before reveal common challenges in STEM education for Turkey and Greece. And in light of these findings, it's important to compare the STEM pedagogical content knowledge of Greece and Turkey's preschool teachers. And the first research questions posed is, do preschool teachers STEM pedagogical content knowledge differ between the two countries? Addressing this question can offer solutions for STEM-oriented teacher education, facilitate knowledge exchange between countries. Furthermore, identified solutions for enhancing teacher pedagogical knowledge in one country can be applied in another, optimizing time and resources. So this research question has, of course, the potential to drive development of STEM policies and for early childhood educators, enriching the STEM skills of children. So to understand this content knowledge, in order to effectively provide STEM education to young learners, teachers must possess, as I said before, a comprehensive content knowledge. There is a clear correlation between teachers' grasp of STEM content and their ability to foster desired STEM learning outcomes in children. While STEM content doesn't have an adoption sequence, the integration of STEM disciplines is deemed more advantageous for children's holistic development. And to achieve this integration, preschool teachers are expected to exhibit competence in STEM content. There are studies who reveal that teachers emphasize science and mathematics. We're going to see about this later. Usually this happens. We put emphasis on science more, mathematics, rather than engineering or technology, which are underrated so far. This reflects their comfort with these specific STEM components. However, you understand that this bias towards certain disciplines can potentially prove to be detrimental for the holistic delivery of STEM education. Preschool teachers usually are tasked with skillfully emerging subject content to facilitate STEM activity implementation. And this necessitates a fusion of STEM and the pedagogical content knowledge. Competent preschool educators possessing in depth STEM component knowledge are anticipated to leverage the pedagogical skills for seamless STEM integration within early childhood settings. So pedagogical know-how includes activity planning, execution, subsequent assessment. Teachers should be able to effectively manage their classrooms. They should study and implement modern teaching methodologies, and they also should have a deep understanding of children's learning psychology. During the planning of STEM activities, teachers should contextualize the content according to attributes to children's backgrounds, school locales. This is important. The teachers should take into consideration the immediate surroundings when they create STEM content, aligning activities with daily life occurrences. Meaningful context is also important when we talk about STEM. It's always about authentic activities, which use, for instance, everyday materials that we can find in our house or in the classroom. That could be Lego, that could be toys, cardboards, Play-Doh, everything that would be challenging and attractive for students. STEM context also should include concrete experiences. And also other studies show that the context crafted for STEM activities should support the fundamental scientific processes like questioning, hypothesizing, observing, and experimenting. Proficiency in STEM content to provide teachers with necessary confidence. Confidence is very important. You know, here in Greece, primary school teachers, they feel that they don't feel confident enough in order to teach science. And they face, of course, a number of set of skills, such as lack of time, fine curriculum time, the lack of professional development. They feel that they don't have the necessary scientific background. And so far, we don't have, the ministry doesn't provide enough training on this, on STEM. So primary school teachers, I think, are those who need urgently training. Because uncertainty regarding STEM content can cause anxiety, and anxiety can destroy the confidence and, of course, diminish the quality of STEM education. So practical hands-on training is important because, for instance, here in Greece, we have a virtual platform, which offers some kind of STEM training, but it's virtual. So virtual can replace hands-on because STEM is about practical hands-on activities. We can teach robotics through virtual videos, so it's not enough, it's not sufficient. So this study I'm going to present now aims to compare STEM knowledge of and content and pedagogical content knowledge of preschool teachers from Greece and Turkey. The research uses a quantitative research approach, the descriptive survey method, and the primary objective was to portray, as I said before, the status of Greek and Turkish knowledge and pedagogical content. So, how is research was conducted? 104 Greek and 565 Turkish preschool teachers voluntarily participated in the study that was selected through single random sampling in alignment with the quantitative survey method. The representativeness of participants of the broad population is significantly likely because their involvement is independent of each other. The study integrated, as I said before, 105 for Greek preschool teachers. Among them, 80% were females usually, and 20% were males. And it's interesting to see that 56% possessed master of doctoral degrees and 43% held a bachelor degrees. And among Greek preschool teachers, 34% had undergone STEM training, while 65% had not. The average age of participating Greek teachers was 34 years. The data collection tool employed in the study was a STEM pedagogical content knowledge scale, which was devised by Hilderim and Zeichner Palcini. During the development phase of the scale, exploratory factor analysis was conducted on data from 443 pre-service teachers, followed by a confirmatory factor analysis involving 212 pre-service teachers, and the construct validity investigations from this scale unveiled 6 distinct factors: 20% social skills, pedagogical knowledge, mathematics, science, engineering, and technology. Confirmatory factor analysis exhibited favorable fit indices, and the overall scale demonstrated high internal consistency, marked by Cronbach alpha's value of 0.95. The internal consistency values of the subfactors range from 0.78 to 0.90, and these outcomes, of course, show the reliability and the validity of scale as a dependable instrument for collecting data, measuring pre-service teachers' STEM pedagogical content knowledge. So what about the data analysis? The assumptions for confirmatory factor analysis and multivariate analysis of variance tests were evaluated. So for what we call the discriminant function analysis, the Greek, Turkish, and complete data sets were scrutinized separately. The test was conducted using the combined data of set of Greek and Turkish participants. Before engaging in confirmatory factor analysis, normality values were assessed within the data set of Greek and Turkish participants. And composite reliability values for both Greek and Turkish participants were below 10, and the Turkish value within the data sets were within the range of -3 and to +3. So these normality values within the participants' data showed a normal distribution, which means that the assumption of multiple normality was satisfied by the confirmatory factor analysis. We talked about these results. We said that there is no significant discrepancy between Greek and Turkish preschool teacher scores, and it can also be thought of as an indication of insufficient support for children's STEM knowledge and skills in both countries. However, early exposure to high-quality STEM education could empower children, and it would possibly impact on academic achievements of a particular year. So the findings of the study would actually identify the deficiency in STEM education among teachers, underscores this need for STEM training. And the crucial variable in identifying and rectifying STEM-related needs is the provision of STEM training to teachers. So this study delved into the impact of preschool teachers training on STEM pedagogical knowledge content, and the outcomes indicated that teachers who underwent STEM training demonstrated significant improvement in STEM training, exhibited we could say noteworthy differentiation in their scores. So this study highlights the absence of a significant interaction between the country variable and STEM training variable. The influence of educators' STEM self-efficacy, it's important to say, extends not only to their present STEM education experiences, but also to the prior direct account of the STEM readiness. Not only this study, but also further studies on STEM education and early childhood show that preschool educators receive insufficient training in the realm of STEM compared to the counterparts in primary secondary education. What there are ethical considerations for this study. The research conducted with human participants was subject to thorough review and approval from the Kafkas University Ethics Committee in Turkey and the University of Crete Ethics Committees in Greece. And these procedures adhere to the established ethical standards in accordance with the 1964 Helsinki Declaration and the revisions. And written informed consent for participation in the study also was obtained from the legal guardian or next of kin of the participants. This was the first study, which was a comparative study between Greece and Turkey. Now I want to present what are the perceptions of preschool educators concerning STEM in early childhood education in Greece. So we said how important STEM is in order for students to navigate in this ever-evolving landscape, in order to keep up with the technological revolution. So to grasp the structural aspects of STEM education and its associated pedagogical approaches, it is imperative to gain insight into the foundational principles of these four disciplines: science, technology, and mathematics. So STEM is grounded in theories that actually address the cognitive, physical, and psychological development of children. So STEM that between the ages of 1 and 4, the human brain exhibits heightened receptivity to acquire mathematics and logical thinking skills, and also a comprehensive evaluation of all the factors influencing children's developmental phase spanning ages 4 to 6 emphasizes the agency of an educational thorough examination. So STEM education draws heavily from Vygotsky's sociocultural theory. So according to this theory, the most educators know about this, learning is a social endeavor. It's a social milieu, and human intellect emerges from societal and cultural interactions. So actually, Vygotsky claims that an individual's cognitive development is closely linked to the social interactions with a child's experience in the social context shaping the perception of the world. So, children's cultural development begins in the social sphere through interactions with others. So, in the context of STEM education, significant emphasis is placed on the social milieu, as I said before, and the methods and tools employed for imparting STEM concepts are aligned with current social conditions, thereby acquainting children with diverse communication modes, modern devices, and other elements prevalent in contemporary society. That's why Vygotsky highlighted the notion that children learn effectively through daily activities and play. So it's vital to create an educational environment that mirrors our social reality, enabling children to transition smoothly into this reality in the future. Another theory, actually, STEM education draws inspiration from Brohembrin's ecological system theory. So according to him, a comprehensive understanding of children's developmental journey necessitates an analysis of their interaction within broader systems. These systems are mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, microsystem. And this ecological systems theory posits homocentrism. What does it mean? This implies that each larger system successively influences every smaller system. So children do not remain passive in these interactions, but actively shape the functioning of these systems. So given the above, it is plausible to assert that STEM education predominantly hinges on prevailing social patterns, circumstances, and contemporary changes, aiming to equip the new generation to dynamically adapt to the modern way of life. So what it is evident that teachers don't approach each subject with the same degree of emphasis as I said before. Usually they put emphasis on mathematics is easily the most prominent STEM field, while technology and science find relatively lesser integration in preschool activities. And engineers also instruction is primarily theoretical. So the E in STEM, engineering, receives the least attention as teachers perceive its integration in modern curricula to be less crucial when it is compared to the other components. To maximize the potential of STEM education, it is essential that teachers as well as students fully understand that all subject areas are interconnected. Teachers strive to form a cohesive chain of all the STEM subjects. And don't forget the art also, because nowadays we talk about STEAM also, if we integrate arts, because we need to emphasize the value of arts, of artistic abilities alongside technical abilities. We need blended skills. What happens here? We're going to analyze a little bit, according to this research, the four distinct disciplines. First of all, technology. In the domain of technology, educators usually express a positive view regarding technology integration, but they don't feel confident enough for the implementation of activities in the classroom. Of course, it is valuable. Incorporating technology in curriculum is valuable because it allows students to familiarize themselves with technology from an early age to cultivate what we call digital citizenship identity and to learn its application. But research shows that teachers view technology more favorably as a tool for them to use during instructional processes rather than for student engagement. So this is one factor. It's about technology. And research also highlights teachers' agreement on organized technology integration within the classroom, emphasizing the need for children to apply their skills in various contexts. When we talk about mathematics, said before that mathematics sessions show that teachers are satisfied with the integration of STEM field. Mathematics hold a major importance for preschoolers because this gives, of course, social knowledge, but also initiates students with computational abilities. But we all know that the way that mathematics is taught all around the world is not as boring, as uninteresting, is not appropriate. So there are misconceptions in the way that math is being taught. And another deficiency, which happens here in Greece, the last years, geometry has been almost excluded from the curriculum without a reason. So teachers now emphasize the value of geometry and numeracy, although the notion of number meaning assumes pivotal significance. And introducing geometry during early years is necessary for fostering skills like spatial reasoning, visualization, which is directly linked to STEM education. When we talk about science tends to be degrading classroom activities to a lesser extent compared to math and technology, even though teachers think that teaching science within preschool classrooms is essentially beneficial. So in recent years, the inclusion of science teaching in modern curricula has become more and more popular because we have realized that this opens up doors for the future. The STEM is framed in the daily life of students outside the classroom, prepares them for the future. So it's something that has become popular through YouTube, also through social media channels and all these social media that actually try to make science attractive and fun for children. I mentioned before about engineering, how it's underrated, and there is it's a field that actually has the least amount of priority. And despite a decreasing perceptions about engineering compared to STEM areas, participants in this study acknowledge the integration of innovation through engineering. Because preschool students can learn how to develop problem-solving skills, construction process, and all other benefits of engineering. So this study, primary observative studies to explore the perspectives of kindergarten educators regarding the significance of STEM within the context of preschool education. The study includes two parts. First of all, the assessment of the familiarity of preschool teachers with STEM fields. And secondly, the examination of the frequency of STEM practice employed in Greek preschool classroom. So this survey tool utilized for data collection was Google Forms. The questionnaires were distributed via mails to teachers. The responses were recorded through an online platform. The survey spanned approximately 1 month, during which responses were monitored. The questionnaire included 6 sections. Demographic variables, teachers' perspective on their roles and the viewpoints on STEM, and also teachers employed a 5-point Likert agreement scale to respond to questions in each section. The structure of the questionnaire was informed by a brief review of the literature on the subject. The research sample consisted of 210 current kindergarten teachers and substitute kindergarten teachers, but the sample reflects a predominantly female profession. So only 2 were male. So this is actually a limitation of the study. However, this study, despite the limitations, shed a new light on the prevailing pedagogical practices within the Greek kindergartens and teachers' perceptions of STEM significance. What about reliability? It is crucial, of course, to acknowledge the reliability of the research instrument. So the reliability of the questionnaire in this study was assessed by the Cronbach's Alpbach official reliable tools typically of one involves deducing insights from the research results and discussing the observations made. Based on the responses, teachers exhibit favorable perspectives concerning the significance of their role and associated responsibilities within the classroom setting. So despite their limited familiarity with STEM fields, teachers succeeded in cultivating a conducive learning environment that facilitates children's development. The skills fostered by STEM education pertain to the recognition, application, integration of concepts from science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, teachers seem to be hesitant and reluctant when it comes to delivering this knowledge via STEM to students with learning disabilities or girls. And now, the third part of our presentation is actually a little bit from a research. It's a collection of some research on the topic. Brenman devised a model for professional development to empower and inspire preschool educators. So this model is adaptable to various curricular materials and enhances academic developmental progress among students. Introduced integrated STEM education methods, course, process, service teachers in STEM fields. It's not worth to mention that very recently, one big problem now is we have not global frameworks about STEM, and especially when it comes to assessment. How evaluate STEM activities, especially since it's about practical hands-on activities. So recently in Europe, we have the creation of the first framework, STEM framework, integrated framework, and this is a great step for Europe, but of course we need more global guidelines and frameworks. The study's findings show certain factors that either hinder or facilitate curriculum. The obstacles usually is the teacher's hesitancy towards specific instructional methods, time constraints. Although in primary education, we could say there is more flexibility, more creativity than in secondary education when you don't have time to do more creative things. You have to stick to the time in order to prepare students for examinations. And another obstacle is developmental variation among children, of course. Factors that made successful implementation of the curriculum easier include collaboration with parents, post-implementation feedback, teacher competence, and openness to new ideas. I want to say here my personal experience with parents. I had the chance to participate in a very innovative program, which is organized by CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. According to this project, 10 teachers from Greece and 10 from UK visited CERN installation. They get training about how to get familiarized with difficult and abstract and complex concepts of particle physics or quantum physics, to get acquainted with the new technological advancements in this biggest laboratory in the world, in Geneva. And these teachers experimented with different materials, similar materials, in order to get familiarized with this abstract concept. And when they return to their countries, they are committed to diffuse this knowledge to the students, to their peers, to their colleagues. So this is how I got involved in this magical world of STEM. It was 2016. We're talking about a period when nobody knew, at least in Greece, nobody knew what is STEM. It was started to be created this period in Europe. And I had to teach particle physics to students from 6 to 11 years old, to 12 years old, sorry. The challenges were huge. First of all, I had to redesign the curriculum, which does not include particle physics, in general modern physics. So I had to redesign the curriculum. The second challenge I had to face was that I was talking about students of 6, 7 years old. So I had to find materials and design activities that will be suitable for their age, for their interest, for the rhythm of my students. Another challenge is that I had students from which were coming from low socioeconomical backgrounds. So many times I had to pay from my own pocket for the project of the students. And another challenge was that parents, there were many parents who, you know, that everything innovative causes usually at first reaction. So there were parents who told me that I don't want my child to learn particle physics at the age of 7 years old, because at this time they didn't know what is STEM and the value of STEM. So I had to organize many pedagogical sessions with them and convince them about the value of STEM. So when parents saw at the end of the academic year what were the amazing projects that students have done, amazing art and crafts, kinesthetical representations, the model of the atom already at the age of 7 years old, many theatrical representations that students have written the script. They had used many digital tools. This was the success of the program. And actually, you know, what is the objective of the program, of course, of CERN, is not to make the children, is not to teach them particle physics. This is not our goal. The goal is to make children love science at an early age. This is why CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, organizes workshops from preschool teachers with great success. How to teach particle physics to preschool students. And this is successful because you can teach anything, even the most important difficult theories of Einstein, anything to students with the right and appropriate methodology. And what is this? Is practical hands-on activities. It is impossible to teach science without practical activities or without arts. The role of arts also is important. So this is what I want to see, that of course the obstacles and the challenges are huge, but a teacher who is devoted, a teacher who is passionate and who has a vision can overcome these challenges. I forgot to say that this project have already won 200 awards, and for this project I was selected among the best teachers in the world with the Global Teacher Prize by Markey Foundation Global Teacher Award. So, I think we don't have a lot of time, but I want to show you something. This third study that I'm showing now was conducted given interactive approach. Interviews were transcribed, data was subjected to discrete content analysis, to repeating readings. Preliminary concepts extracted from the text were also documented during this phase. Representative themes of the interview were categorized based on developed units of meaning, and specific topic categories were created based on each of the overarching themes. When I talk about coding, credibility measures like peer review were employed. One researcher initiated the creation of the initial set of codes from interviews, which was then discussed with the second researcher to establish a mutual coding framework. And throughout the coding process, both researchers frequently engaged discussions in order to address emerging codes and achieve final consensus. And the coding exhibited substantial agreement, and any inconsistencies were resolved through consensus. So, in the ethical considerations of this study, it's important to mention the study commenced upon obtaining approval from the Institutional Review Board prior to interviews. All participants were provided with detailed information about the study, its goals, and to maintain confidentiality, the names of people heard in audio recordings were not disclosed. Participants retained the right to withdraw from the study without repercussion. Pseudonyms were utilized to safeguard participants' identities. And all data, including recordings and notes, were securely stored in a locked cabinet, while digital data files were stored. So participants were engaged in these hands-on learning experiences, corresponded with a high commitment to STEM, manifested in their increased comfort when they had to engage with STEM activities. All participants acknowledged bolstered confidence, facilitating curriculum planning implementation. And when it comes to equipment, within study, classrooms were equipped with STEM-related materials and resources, and teachers who participated answered that these resources motivated their engagement with STEM and its implementation. And they agreed that the stimulating resources are essential for integrated STEM curriculum. As I said before, what I tried to do with my students, we used Lego. We didn't have always the possibility for technology room, for technology equipment. I'm saying this because there are many teachers, for instance, here in Greece, who are complaining about the lack of technological equipment. And they say how to do robotics, for instance, if you don't have necessary equipment. We have a second category of STEM, which is called STEM Unplugged, where we can use the materials without the use of technology. So again, you can do wonderful things with the students. So these are, I think, excuse. Of course, the ideal is to use technology, but it's not always the case with the governments. Recently, here in Greece, hopefully, our minister introduced a new curriculum, a new cognitive discipline, which is called Skills Labs. And for the first time, there is a thematic option about STEM and robotics. And not only this, our ministry provided technological equipment about robotics to all primary and secondary schools here. So it's a great reform for a country like Greece, but this is not the case in all countries. So in this case, when you don't have the necessary resources, you can find still something that will be challenging and interesting for students. Technology is not a panacea. Teachers were tasked with maintaining reflective journals during the study, collaborating with colleagues for planning, facilitating children's technology use, and documenting children's learning. So they used a combination of curriculum, including opening the world of learning, number of worlds, circle. So this actually, because I know that we don't have time, how to conclude that, of course, this study highlight the need for high quality professional development for both in-service and pre-service teachers. And early engagement in STEM learning activities can yield favorable academic and developmental results for young children by aligning with the natural learning and exploration tendencies. So empowering young learners in STEM domains is inseparable from the empowerment of their educators. And this underscores the pressing need for enhanced integration in STEM curriculum. So this means deliver appropriate training, professional development for educators, foster a network, the networking of STEM resources for educators, programs and children. Structural STEM curriculum offers a framework for teachers. We could see that in Europe, if you want, you can visit Scientix. Scientix is the biggest community of science educators. And there you can find many functions, not only as a platform for science educators, it functions also as a repository where you can find ready free lesson plans, innovative lesson plans on how to teach STEM in primary secondary education. So thank you very much for your attention, and for any question, I'm here to discuss.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Participants, any questions from your side? The participants, any questions? Ma'am, I have a question from my side, ma'am. The STEM
Yes.
education is completely for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Is there anything like that for arts, ma'am? Arts education?
For, sorry, didn't hear you. For
ma'am.
maths?
For English, languages?
Ah, okay. Yes, yes. I want to say this, that I am among the first educators on a global level who introduced STEM in English language teaching. So what I did here in Greece, I organized a live show for English language teachers where I designed an original lesson plan. This lesson plan included first, it was a physics experiment, lemon battery. So teachers and students experiment with different materials in order to, to create. I gave them the guidelines about how to create a battery, how to produce electricity through this experiment. At the same time, the experiment with materials and they had an interactive worksheet, and they learned English conditionals and English grammar. So they say, if I use the safety pin, will the bulb light up? So this way they learned English grammar, the conditions in English grammar through a physics experiment. At the same time, there were 5 yellow lemons and 1 green lemon. The green lemon was one who was victim of bullying. So sociology is also included. And at the end, the children represented this through theatrical representation. So this is the magic of STEM. It's not interdisciplinary, it's transdisciplinary, because you combine 2 more disciplines at the same time. This is the magic of STEM. I haven't included in my presentation the photos, but I have I could show you photos. Apart from this, yes, you can. What I want to tell you is that you can easily integrate STEM in language teaching and foreign language teaching also. You don't need to be a scientist in order to teach STEM. This is a misconception. You can be creative, and at the same time, you can teach English language, but help your students learn about science at the same time and be excited about science, because the goal is to make children love science, as I said before. And apart from this, I'm the founder of many international STEM projects addressed to underprivileged children in Africa and Asia. So one based on Sustainable Development Goals. The first project was about was called the Water, Life Giver and Threat. We're talking about students who are thirsty. So how to teach about water awareness to this kind of students? How to design STEM activities? We're talking about students who didn't have school supplies at all. So what I did was, first I designed some activities that took into consideration the context we live and their economical background. So these students obviously had to use only natural resources. So they created amazing, they performed water experiments. They created amazing laughing cracks using sand, for instance, mind maps using the branches of trees. They learned how to sanitize the water, how to filter the water. And the impact of this project was that 6 wells were drilled in the area of Malawi, where students had to walk about 90 minutes to find clean water to drink. And we obtained also sanitation filtering equipment from donors and sponsors. The same happened in India also with another project about food. All the same are STEM projects. What I'm trying to say is that you can apply STEM in every cognitive discipline, because STEM actually breaks down these barriers between cognitive disciplines. This is the magic of STEM.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
breaks down the barriers. If you apply, of course, this correctly in transdisciplinary ways.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your beautiful explanation. And any other questions from participants side? The participants, if you have any doubt, you can ask from ma'am. Ma'am is ready to answer your questions.
I know in India, STEM has started to be integrated in the curriculum. I know about robotics and.
I think no questions from participant side. From ma'am's explanation, they have understood clearly about the STEM education and including STEM education in curriculum and also in their teaching. Ma'am, really you have explained the session in a very insightful way regarding STEM. It is a unique topic for the teachers and researchers to change their teaching methodology, and how STEM education a foundation for a lifelong learning and how it will be extended throughout one's life. And you also explained very well, ma'am, and shows the uniqueness. Teacher should be unique in their teaching methodology. And also thank you so much for your, ma'am, that from your session we will enhance, every researcher, every teacher, every faculty will enhance their teaching in the education and also enhance the students' learning by using different methodologies, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Once again, thank you so much for your wonderful explanation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Now, dear participants, it's time to move on to the next session. Next session will be handled by Dr. Ali Syed Al-Matari, sir, mathematics instructor at A. Sakya University, PhD in Arts, Humanities and Translation, and he is also ambassador of the Worky International Teacher Award. Sir, our warm and heartfelt welcome on behalf of the participants and our institution, AVP College of Arts and Science, Tripur, India, and also Cape Comorin. Welcome you for this session, sir. Now, let us have a small intro about our resource person.
Very good evening. I'm profoundly delighted to introduce our chief guest for the second session, Dr. Ali Syed Al-Matari. He is a mathematics instructor at Sakia University, PhD in Arts, Humanities and Translation. He is ambassador of the Worky International Teacher Award. He is one among 50 teachers in the world for the year 2017 in the Global Teacher Award. He is the winner of Khalifa Award for Excellence in the category of Creative Teacher in the field of Public Education in the Arab world for the year 2016-2017. He got second place in the Faisal bin Qasim Al Thani Award for the category of Teachers in the Gulf Countries 2016. He is a researcher in sociology, educational administration, curricula, teaching methods, and integrating technology with education. He is an inter-tutorial instructor. He is a member of the Oman Association for Educational Technologies and a member of the Gulf Society for Comparative Education. He has presented papers in many local, regional, and international conferences. He is an expert from Microsoft 2020. He has more than 46 published scientific papers, and he oversaw the implementation of more than 1,000 technical projects within the intern educational. We are very much honored to have him as the guest speaker. Now, may I request Dr. Ali Syed Al-Matari, sir, to take over the session. So please.
Thank you so much for presentation me. Thank you all to be here, and thank you for Prof. Mutmain and all organizer and the coordinator of meeting, Dr. Mal Kashimi. Thank you so much also for giving me this opportunity to present my paper about the mixed method of research. First, I want to share my presentation. I hope it's clear. My presentation is clear.
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay, good. Why I'm choosing the mixed method of scientific research? Actually, I'm not expert in this field, but by doing research, and we are facing some problems when we are trying to collect data, and we are looking for the deep information that's getting from the response. So we have actually, excuse me. Actually, we have a research talking about the artificial intelligence and the future of teaching in higher education in our university, Asharqiya University in Sultanate of Oman. In this research, we try to answer 3 questions that agree with our team. Want to asking the 4 experts teaching. They are using AI, artificial intelligence, in teaching mathematics. So we ask him 3 questions. How can AI be leveraged to enhance education and the quality of education day-to-day works? Second question, how can we use, how can we as a teachers ensure the ethical, inclusive, and equitable use AI in education? And third question, how can AI reduce the teaching burn on teaching? So we try to distribute the survey, and we try to also make observation. We meet him there in the classes also by make interview for each other for 4 samples. So at that time, we're looking for the, we're using different materials in this research. So that's why we focusing in mixed method. So this presentation is like learn from you. I am actually present this presentation only to hear from you, your expert, about the mixed method, because I am still new in this field. So I want to share my knowledge about this kind of research, and also will share our knowledge about this, inshallah, in next slides. So first thing, there's a big war between qualitative and quantitative methods. As you see in this photo, qualitative methods are the best, and quantitative methods are the best. So we need to blend it or mix it together. This man, see the research question drive everything. So the study questions is independent about how I can use qualitative methods or quantitative methods. It's independent for the research questions, because the research question is driving you to choose which kind of methods that provide you or supports you to answer this question. So what is the mixed method? Typically, mixed method is seen as a methodology integrating both qualitative and quantitative approach within research project. The movement is around since 1980s, when psychologists try to resolve disagreement below qualitative and quantitative paradigm to combining both into a third way. So there are disagreement of the details. For example, Johnson and et al. List 19 different definition, still the overall picture clear enough to useful. So that's why we are the half of the way of using which method is the best. So the method is independent by the questions that you are put in your research. So the research question drives everything. This is a mixed method. Mixed method, also qualitative methods are often constructive and conduct exploratory research. Quantitative methods on the country and the rather positives and focus more hypothesis testing. Here, mixed method 6 stand in between. In the mixed method research is often strongly programmatic. Whatever is most useful for answering the research question should be done. Judge available data by its relevance rather than its form. What is mixed methods? A mixed methods research design in a procedure for the collecting, analyzing, and mixing both quantitative and qualitative research and methods in single study to understand research problem. So we use different kind of research methods only to define the problems and to understand the problems. So what is the main roles here? What is the power of your study? The power of your study is the question. The question driving you to choose the best way for answer the question. Quantitative method, qualitative method, or mixed together, it's called mixed methods. To utilize the design effectively, you must understand both quantitative and qualitative research or specific approach. Quantitative, now we are going to distribute quantitative research and qualitative research. Quantitative research is a type of educational research in which the research decides what to study, ask specific, narrow questions, collect countable data from a participant, large number of participation, analyze their number using statistics and some programs, SPSS and other programs that's famously in use, conducts in inquiry and objectives manner. Post systems, singular reality objective educators. So the types of quantitative research using survey for collecting data, or descriptive research, or experiment research, or correlation research. This is called quantitative research. Another example of questions for quantitative research, we have three kind of question maybe we can ask, or three symbols. If you are going to do for box number 2, how often do work people travel for a holiday? Variable amount of times, responsible travel during a holiday. Demographic, working people, quantitative research, type, descriptive. If I'm looking for the third square, what is the difference in smartphone using between millennials and senior citizens? Variable time spent on using a smartphone, demographic, young and senior, quantitative research type, correlation. Also, quantitative research cannot do. Generally, attempts to quantitative variables of interesting questions must be measurable. We should measurable the question. For example, what is the relation between the graduates students level of interaction measurable by the number of hits in the course and students grades in the online research method course. So this question we can measurable or find the data from this research. Also, quantitative methodology generally involve collecting numerical data that can be subjected to statistical analysis. For example, examples of data collection methodologies, performance test, personality measure, questionnaires, which is closed-end questions, or open-end but transferred to quantitative data. Also, content analysis. That data is generally referred to as hard data. It's a big data, and we use different kind of program to analyze. Now, going to qualitative research, another kind of research, qualitative research. A type of educational research is in which the research relies on the view of participants, ask broad general questions, collect data consisting largely of words or text from participants, describe, analyze the words for them, and conducts the inquiry in the subjective based manner. So this is a type of qualitative research method. One-on-one interview, focus group, ethnographic research, case study research, and record keeping, qualitative observation. So this is some tools that's used for collect data from response by it's called quantitative research. Quantitative research, data collection and analyze. If we see these pictures, actually we have four ways to collect data and characterize of qualitative research methods. First, qualitative research method usually collect data at the sites where the participants are experience issue of research problem. These are real-time data and rarely bring the participants out of the geographic location to collect information. Second, qualitative research typically gather a multiple form of data, such as interview, observation, and documents, rather than really a single data source like survey. This type of research method works towards solving complex issues by breaking down in meaningful. And first, that's the easily repealed and understandable by all. Since it's more communicative method, people can build their trust of the research and their information. Those obtains is raw and trusted. So qualitative research, maybe from your experts, maybe and you from research, because you are, I know a lot of you is a researcher, and folks, maybe some of you in qualitative research, some of you choosing quantitative research. So from your expert, I want to hear some of experiment that's done by you, inshallah, in the last of present. Qualitative research cannot. There are times we wish to know not how many or how well, but simple how. Example, what are the factors that influence a graduate student's experience in online research methods course? This question is a general question. So when we try to answer this question, we don't have one answer. So we have different kind of answers. It's mean you have a big data of text, how to analyze this data, how to maybe convert to numbers, how to convert to words to analyze by content analyze or something else. Also, if I'm moving for qualitative methodology, generally involve listening the participant voice and subjectives that the data to analyze induction, finding common themes, more exploratory in nature, example of data collection, interview, open-end questions, observation, content analyze, focus group. If I'm moving this table show us the qualitative research method vs quantitative research method. If we see analyze analytical objectives, qualitative research method. This research method focus on describing individual experience and beliefs. If our quantitative research method focus on describing the characters of population. Also, a type of question asked. A qualitative research, open-end question. A quantitative research, closed-end questions. Data collection instrument and qualitative research use semi-structured method, such as depth interview. Sorry. Depth interview, focus group, and participant observation. But in a quantitative research method, use highly structured method, such as structured observation using questionnaires and survey. Compare number 4, form of data produced. In qualitative research, descriptive data, but in quantitative research, numerical data. Degree of flexibility. Qualitative research participant response affects how and which questions research asks next. But in quantitative research, participants respond to do not influence or determine how and which questions research asks next. If we are moving for Chris Hall and Clark's 2020 terms, and we have some recommendation on the using of the curriculum of mixed methods. According to their experience, I want to share their experience in using a mixed method. According to their experience, they strongly recommend mastery of 3 skills: quantitative research skills, qualitative research skills, coding and analyze, and skills combination of quantity and quality. They recommended blended research training by someone familiar with the blended approach to acquire the skills to perform this type of research. So why I present this in this meeting? Because I want to know from your experience, because I am new in this kind of research, and now I'm collecting some information about these topics. So I will thank Prof. Mutmainna to encourage me to present this title. So we are here to learn the mixed method. Then they set very important administrative conditions, which are the reason that it is not common sort with master level, such as 1, time to collect and analyze data for 2 different sides of data. 2, there are sufficient resource to collect data in both type skills and manpower, especially in project. They therefore recommend that blended research be in research teams, like focus group, given that's because it's related to variety of qualitative, and mixed skills. And I think that it is possible. This is valuable for the PhD degree, even if they were along of the condition of training in depth before starting the supervisor Mr. That's methods of blending approach. They added the importance of the research knowledge related to the mixer research, such as his history and development, justification for its use, and the philosophy from which is proceeds, and his assumption. How are mixed research tilted formatted or formulated? The title of the research is very important. Every word has it is meaning, and it's our university, maybe a university, catching the address needs a word and a long time, given the novelty. Blended research, I presented to research and colleagues in the departments, are the most important recommendation in writing mixed research, titled according to the Crossell and Clark's. So they have give some advice. If the research convergent titles, what should be natural, no qualitative appears qualitatively, or vice versa, because the priority of a methodology equal in convergence. In exploratory and exploratory, for the qualitative is often referred in the title, specific words such as perception, understanding, opinion. The quantity is referred to a several words such as level, score, impact, relationship. This is in quantitative. In the interpretive, the exploratory of opposite in the order of awareness of semantic. Experts recommends using the words blended research in the title to clarify the general method study and the novelty of the methodology. There are some, maybe some notes that's maybe, I hope maybe it's maybe useful for you as a research. Also, if you have anything you want to add in the end of this talk, inshallah, I will be ready, inshallah, to hear from you and from your experience. In mixed blended research, if you use explanatory sequentially, the question and the simple participating in the second stage, qualitative, are not clear. Expect after the result of the first stage, quantitative. The example, the following reveals in the truth. If the study was about the participation of students in scientific activities, an exciting result immigrated that the students who excel more scientifically, students are reluctant to participate in the scientific activities. In here, the symbol of participation was determined from the outstanding students only, and the tools were determining for group or individual interview and questions about the reason for your reluctance of the activities and your participation of them. Second, blended or mixed research need technique, planning, patience, and breadth of the research, the supervisor, and even the department, and does not accept very arrogant. This is important for blended mixed research. As an important question for those interested in scientific research, in the chapter of previous studies in the blended research, whichever is written first, qualitative or quantitative research. What is the first we are right. Qualitative or quantitative studies. When you have a research that you are interested, maybe answer the question. Research based in the exploratory, we start with qualitative and interpretive studies to reverse. It will start with the quantity and convergence in trade with the sum periods, and the decision is left scientific research. This is by John Crisol. We resort the part of convergent research as a design in the building research. In one of the case, the study phenomenon is rebelling and disappearing, and its time does not allow for with sequential design. The short duration toward the end of the mission or administration does not allow time to ensure the celerity of the result to complete the result. For analytics, we resort also sequentially exploratory research on a design bending research. If variables are unclear and metrics are invaluable, we explore in this qualitative way first, and then quantitative. As for the stage in which the researcher stops between the two stages in the exploratory sequential to build the tools or determine its variable. Consider them. Creswell, in his latest update to the science, that it is a stake in its own right. Research intelligence. To answer your study questions easier and faster away, to get you to the truth better, if the research quantitative replaces the mixed, so suffix with the qualitative and invest your time and your remaining effort in another activity or second research paper. It is not a condition that blends are always better than quality alone. Also, the concept question is not one of the research question, because the question the research does not know, it is answered before the research, and if the concept was a question to meet it, a goal, and in fact it doesn't not drive a goal from it. He stressed that the concept framework is not a question, as it does not include other result research, because it is literature that was previous to us and not the result of our research. Every question you put in your study, you must determine the scientific method with which data is collected to answer. Ask yourself if the question is theoretical, and do not assign a question to it, and oblige yourself with a scientific method to collect, analyze, and interpret data. Include it with theoretical framework if his data are quoted from previous literature. Also, mixed research question, fix it in any blended search. This is according for Clark, Leach, and Creswell, have to be cut into discipline study by the types of blending design. The most important elements of evaluating blending research when discussing, did it happen? Blending, this can only be verified by answering this question. Also, every questions you put in your study, you must finish. Embedded research, your quantitative sample in the experimentary design may be around 1,000, while the qualitative sample only 4 participants out of the 1,000. So the qualitative study state for accessing detailed exploratory information for quantitative results. The quantitative research were identified by the 4 participants who possess an in-depth exploratory. Elements written in blended study procedures in qualitative and quantitative separately determine the location of the study, determine the participant sample size, sample selection, and decision strategy, permits and ethical decision for data collection, tools for varsity and consistency of qualitative mention that interview guides or observation identifying problems. According to Crossell, the embedded of or compact blended design. Blended has several forms, the most famous of which are the embedded experiment model, in which the main design is experimental, quantitative, and the research ensure experiments with qualitative data before or during the experiment. The design is also relation friendly. In exploratory blended study, procedures like 2 or 3 questions, which statement a participant during the qualitative interview, the supports the reliability of the tools and it is validity. Remember that she writes in the study, it's right in the study brochures. Exploratory research, qualitative to quantitative insight. Exploratory research, quantitative to qualitative insight. Dynamic research, it's mean mixed research, mixed qualitative and quantitative and together. That's all my presentation. Now I hope to give me your experience about this field, because actually I'm new in this field and I want to hear from your expert. I know we have more than 99 research in our meeting today, and actually I participate here to get I want to get some advice from your expert that's using mixed method in research. Thank you so much for your thank you so much for this great opportunity to be a part of this amazing conference or meeting. And now actually I'm asking you to share your experience about this field, because I am already a new student in this field. So thank you so much, and thank you for joining me in this meeting. Thank you so much. The floor is for you to share your experience about this kind of research mixed methods. Thanks so much.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation. And you elaborately explained about how a person should involve in qualitative research and quantitative research and various types of research. Really, this was a wonderful session, and every researcher, they should be keen in analyzing each and every research topic in the methods explained by you, and we'll try to adopt the methods in different by using different methodologies in research. Yes. And participants, if you have any questions, you can questions, and if you want to give any feedback, sir is very much excited to
Actually, I want the participant feedback about their experience in
Yes,
this
sir.
kind of research.
Yes, expecting feedbacks from participants side. We
Yes,
request the
actually,
participants to give your feedback.
yes, sure. Sure. Actually, okay. Sorry.
Participants, you can come up with your questions and your feedback too.
You know, Prof, maybe this field of research, because we have two sides. Everywhere, university and your department, university, some of them they are focusing quantitative research and they're proud of use it, and some of them could focus in qualitative research and also proud of their research when they are present in a meeting or a research day. So they are fighting for the way of using methods. So that's why this is a question. Maybe the last year when we have a research meeting, we have different kind of research, and maybe there's no research from the presenter. They're focused in the mixed research. So that's why I present mixed research. Also, my research also we are working now with our teams in artificial intelligence and future of teaching in higher education by asking for expert teachers in using AI in teaching mathematics. So we have different tools. So we have different way of methods we use. So I thought that we use mixed method from my side, but I didn't know from your experience or for the audience that we have in our meeting if it's really truth, it's mixed or not, because I use different method of tools, interview, survey, meeting, observation. So I mixed quantitative and qualitative research tools together to be a mixed method. If that's really truth or not, I want to hear from the audience if it's possible.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
My simple question is that can we employ the quantitative means of research in literature studies, in literature? I think literature is purely depends on qualitative research. Can we employ the scientific means or a quantitative means in the study of literature?
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad, for this question. Actually, I don't have answer. I am still new in this field, so I am present to hear from you. If you have experience in this field, or anyone who can answer this question, it would be a good feedback for us. I don't have an answer. I come here to get feedback from you, and also I increase my knowledge about this kind of methods. Maybe this is one reason of why I participating here. Mr. Muhammad, if you have, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What my suggestion is, in literature part, if you are doing any surveys related to ELT or any other surveys we are doing, we can do that quantitative research. That is
Yes.
what my guess.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yes, sir. Yes. Any other doubts? Any other questions? Anybody else want to give feedback? Dear participants.
Maybe they don't have. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being me a part of this amazing meeting and with the amazing audience. Thank you so much for this great opportunity to participate in this meeting. And also I will thank Prof. Mutmainna to encourage me all time to participate and get from around the experiment from around the world. Thank you so much, and thank you for your administration of this meeting. Thank you, Prof.